Well, hi everybody. This is your stay-at-home grandmom, and I'm doing two things today. I'm doing the butter. I'm going to do the stuffing first, and then the butter, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow or Tuesday. I'll have everything online, and I will do the um the biscuits because it's a lot, and even though it's two ingredients, I've got to show you everything. So let me show you. I have before me. How's everybody doing, by the way? I am doing fine. Okay, so I have. Let me put you down just a little bit more. I'm actually going to use my camera one of these days, but I'm used to my laptops. I have before me the breadcrumbs. Now these are breadcrumbs that I bought. I will also show you this week how to prepare breadcrumbs and make breadcrumbs and make croutons out of old bread. All right, so we'll do that. Anyway, I have this soaking in some chicken broth. Chicken broth or chicken stock can be made by you. I make some sometimes. And I keep these all the time, okay, because I use a lot of beef broth and chicken broth and bone broth and all that. But that's for another story, and I'll show you how to do that later on. But this is what I use, okay, and it's good, and it's just the chicken broth. That's all it is. Okay, so then I've got this now. I, hello Bohemian, how are you? I did not have any celery because we're going to the farmer's market tomorrow to get some celery, and I don't have any more, but I have celery seed. And I also have my little bowl of which I will mask my celery seeds while I am talking to you all. How's everybody doing? What's happening? Oh, okay. I'm going to do those tomorrow. It's a lot because I got to do the butter. Okay. And I'm sitting and I'm thinking, ain't nobody going to want to sit here. You might, because you and I, we sisters in what it is that we are. But I'm going to do the butter tomorrow. I mean, not the butter, the biscuits tomorrow. But I'm going to do the butter and the stuffing. It's just a lot. I'm not going to try to say it 5 times, but I'm not. Okay, bye-bye. So I have broken up the celery seed. I'm going to pour that in. And I'll clean this up later. All I have to do is just wipe this out. I love this. I don't work on my counter because, when you buy when I bought this house, I didn't. Okay, when I bought when I bought this house, the kitchen is big. It's big enough for me anyway, and all my kids were grown, so who knew? But I did not really plan counter space because the house that I came from was a brownstone in New England, so we really didn't have counter space. We worked at the kitchen table. So anyway, these are the bell peppers. Now the breadcrumbs that I got came with seasoning and it's spice mix, but I don't use anybody's spice mix but my own. And I'm actually using spices because I haven't made a spice mix, which is something that we are going to do for gifts. Now, I am not a professional cutter. And I got a dull knife, I think. Now, I'm going to just make a basic dressing because um, you can get really fancy. You can put chestnuts in it. You can put apples in it. I've done that. I've done apples and raisins. We just want a basic dressing for today anyway. For Thursday, we'll actually do something. I don't know yet what we'll do yet, but I mean, I've decided on what I'm cooking. I just don't know about the dressing or the stuffing, as some people call it. Okay, let's get this up, please. I washed all my things off too, by the way. I should get up and get another knife, but I'm just too. It hurts when I sit down today. It's damp here, and when it's damp, these little knees of mine feel it, and it ain't good. Okay, so this is okay, and also you can put sausage meat in it. You can put vegetarian sausage. You can put sage sausage, and you can put any kind of sausage you want. Sometimes when I'm just doing something and it's not for the holidays or something like that, I put chorizo in because I like chorizo. I put linguiça in, which is also a Portuguese sausage. I think when I put this in, I'm going to get up and get another knife because this is, I got to tell him too so he can. Oh, you got a roast in the oven? That sounds good. That was really good. Okay, so I've got this done. I'm going to put this in. I know your boys will enjoy that, I'm sure. Okay, before you do anything, stir it up. Remember that the breadcrumbs were soaking in the broth. Because that's going to break down the bread too. Now, if you use boxed dressing, okay, you can use the box dressing because it's already seasoned. You just add all of your vegetables to it. I've done that before too. I had some box dressing. I don't know where I got it from. I think one of my friends gave it to me. And I was sitting there one night and I'm saying, I'm going to take the box dressing. And I had some leftover rice and I mixed it with some rice. And my husband said, that's really good. What did you do? And I said, I mixed it with some box dressing. It was really good. Okay, and then you can see the celery seed in it. Okay, so now I'm going to get the onion, but I'm going to get another knife because this knife right here, So bear with me in my old legs. But they're usable. And they're still kicking, even though they're slow. We put knife racks up on the walls because at one time, well, we still have one little kid, but one time my grandchildren were very little, so they couldn't reach them. And so there's some on this side and some on that side. So I got to tell him he's got to sharpen the knives again. Okay, so here's the onion. Okay. They're going to teach you how to cut an onion in a class. And I know how to do it. I just don't feel like doing it. So I usually cut, and because I have some disabilities too, so I cut my onion this way. So I'm thinking, for Bohemian, I'm thinking about going back to school. What do you think? I think I told you all yesterday. I'm going to call and find out tomorrow if the classes are online. And if they are, I'm going to get a certificate in baking. And then I'm going to have classes. With what I learned. And I know probably a lot of people say certificate in cooking, but I don't know. And I'll probably put things like how to make butter and how to make your own syrups and, sugars, like maple sugar and vanilla sugar and cinnamon sugars and all that. I'll probably throw those in there, but I'm really interested in baking because I have not, and I won't master it per se, but I haven't. My mother was such a master baker. I mean, she won awards for her stuff. But, it was like everybody in the neighborhood, the old women or the middle-aged women, they all baked together. It was just different than I think. And I learned a lot of things from her, and I really learned how to cook and how to sew and all that other kind of stuff, and I liked it. I learned a lot about herbs. Hey, Uniquely Lavish. Okay, let me run it through. That's okay. Soak the breadcrumbs in chicken broth. Any chicken broth. You can get chicken broth from the dollar store. You can make your own chicken broth. Like if you're baking a chicken and you have the broth left in the bottom, save it. But freeze that because it has the fat in it. Okay? Hi, Annie Jenny. And so I use the chicken broth. So let's catch up. I used my mortar and pestle. I just poured the celery seeds in to break up my celery seeds because, I told you that I did not go to the store and get any celery. I'm going tomorrow. And because we live in Bloom County, so to speak, yeah, soak the breadcrumbs because I'm going to cook this. I'm going to cook it down just a little bit. Then I'm going to stuff just a little chicken breasts for him and I for tonight to show you how it's done. Okay? All right, so then I just cut up the peppers. Okay, so now I'm cutting the onions. How you doing, Annie Jenny? All right, so again, it's only him and I. I'm actually going to cook my Thanksgiving dinner. I'm saying this. I'm going to cook it on YouTube. My granddaughter's going to come and help me. We're going to have a little dinner because all of our family's not going to be here, which is not bothering me at all because really and truly it's nice sometimes just to have a couple of people. I know my grandchildren will be here. I don't know about my great-grands. I think they're going with his family this time. But that's what I'm doing. So now, if you want to cut other things, okay, you can cut carrots and put it in there. You can cut jalapenos and put it in there. I put a little bit of, I'm not going to put any peppers in there, but I might because I do have some hot peppers. I have some Scotch bonnet and stuff in there, so I might. Let's see how this goes. Or I might put a little pepper flakes in there. But you can also do, I'll say this again, you can do sausage. You know, I've done sausage. I've done apples and raisins. I've never done chestnuts, but my mother has. I don't know, nuts in cooked food and I don't get along. I've never really okay, because I have to make a pecan pie for my granddaughter. Okay. And she says I make a good one, and I do. But nuts and cooked food, yeah, and you know what? The lady, we went to the farm a couple of weeks ago. I think it was on YouTube, so you might have seen it. And I took the kids to the farm, and she had a bunch of jalapeno. No, she had Scotch bonnets and everything else, but no jalapenos. And for some reason or other, I didn't grow any. Yeah, nuts and cooked food and I don't get along. I'm sorry. I don't remember whether I liked it. I think I was picking the chestnuts out of it. Now, you give me just regular nuts and stuff like that, although I've never had chestnuts roasting on an open fire, but I have had chestnuts. And nuts, I'll eat them. But nuts and cooked food, and we don't get along. I don't like nuts on ice cream either. Does anybody like nuts on ice cream? But my husband loves nuts anyway, shape or form. So I've never done that, but I know that, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do the stuffing and all kinds of things you can put in them. But I'm general like I like what I like. So I'm going to stir this up. Now, do I put in a hot pepper or what? Because I'll go to the refrigerator and go get one. But I don't have any jalapenos. I'll tell you what I have. I'll get them. So I've got Scotch bonnet. He'll like that. He likes hot peppers. Yeah, okay. So I've got Scotch bonnet. I think that's a little bit too hot. That's a little bit too hot for him. I've got this one right here. I don't know what this is. These are Thai chilies. But here, I know that. So I think that I'm going to put the little green ones and the little Thai chilies in. I'll put a couple of those in there. See, I eat these peppers. I'll eat the peppers alone when my husband will go, ooh, but he'll eat them. He likes some hot things, but not that hot. He's not, well seasoned in that. I was raised on that. So between that, my mother and her people, and then the people in the neighborhood were mostly from the islands, Barbados, Bermuda, Trinidad, Jamaica. There's I really think two neighbors, maybe three. Okay, maybe three. The woman to the right, the left of me, the right of me, left of me, the left of me, and the woman and her husband to the right of me. They were from Mississippi, where my father was from, and the woman to the, not now, but when I was a kid, to the left of me was from Virginia. Then there was Miss Gilchrist, and she was from, I think she was from Alabama. And there were the Harrises down the street. I don't know where they were from, but the rest of the people were all from the island. So, and then my mother was from Portugal. So, it was just one of those things where you just eat hot food. And it's funny because my grandchildren pretty much all like hot food. So, because my granddaughter, her stepfather was from Barbados. Now, the trick of it is, okay, when you're doing these, take the seeds out. I don't mind the seeds. I don't mind the seeds at all, but he's a little bit, he's a little bit chicken. So I got to take care of the chicken because like I said, I'll eat them with no problem. So our farmers market is usually open from Thursday to Sunday, but they're open in November, the week of Thanksgiving. So yeah, I mean, there were wonderful people. I mean, the neighborhood in and of itself, I come from Boston, and the neighborhood in and of itself, the South End, was homogenous. There were people from China. The first house that we lived in, um, my father had a store and a barber shop, and the man next to us on the left was Greek, and the woman and her husband on the right. I don't even remember what her husband looked like, but I remember because she taught me how to make Irish stew. She was from Ireland. Hi, how are you? She was from Ireland, and she taught me how to make Irish stew, but among a lot of things. And I used to play with her grandchildren all the time. Our neighborhood was just homogenous, and we had no problem. We went to a mixed school and everything like that, so I didn't have the problems that other kids had, And I'm sure that we had problems. I just didn't feel them. And the good thing about it is, to me, I like everybody. Okay, I speak a little Greek, enough to get me in a lot of trouble. We won't talk about that. No, I was born in Boston. No, my father is from Mississippi. I've been there a couple of times when I was little. I have not been back because my cousin and I were talking about it a few months ago. We don't know who's there. I lost contact with a lot of people when my mother died. But then I also lost contact with a lot of people when my father died in Mississippi. So it happens. But I have enough. Well, little by little, family is fading away as it always does. But I have enough family here to keep me busy. Trust me. Now, don't, don't, don't. Yeah, I know what that's like. I've had a stroke, and it is very, very painful. And you kind of bounce back, but you never actually do. But I'm thanking God I'm here. I would say go. I would say go. My godson is moving there. I don't know why, but he's moving there. Now he says that he's going to find my family. And I'm like, okay, well, go ahead. I can probably find them. I just really, I'm happy with the things that I have here. And after, my bout with pneumonia, and then right after the pneumonia, a stroke, I'm just happy to be here. So I live each day like it's my last. I'm happy and grateful for you guys. I'm just getting in the peppers. Again, I have to say again, do not wipe your eyes. Okay? If you have to wipe your eyes, wash your hands first because I've done it and it ain't pretty. Not at all. So just take that lead from me. So, all right, so now we're going to stir that in. Now that's it for it's really, really easy uniquely. And like I said, you add in the things that you want. You want sausage, you want I know somebody, okay, that put some neck bones in it. All right. I'm serious, I do. I'm sure that there's a recipe out for that. But she was definitely from the South. Okay. She's a friend of mine. And if I'm surprised she's not on here, but she's a friend of mine. But she just tried it. She just put. I don't know whether it was a recipe, I didn't even ask her. She just put neck bones in it. And you know what was good? She did it with pork chops, and she took the meat off the neck bone. She didn't put the bones in. It was good. Okay. Now the other thing about this is you should put an egg in it, okay? Because that binds it. But I don't. Okay, I stopped putting eggs in there a long time ago. Not for any reason except that I really don't think it tastes all that good. Okay, I don't think it does anything to the taste, and it depends upon how you want it bound because it's going to bind anyway because you're going to put it in a square pan. Okay, so this is onion powder. That's onion powder. Okay, you already have the onion in there, but that gives a good taste. And this is garlic salt. Now, what people usually do is they put fresh garlic in it. I'm not going to because I'm going to put some garlic salt in there. The other thing is, okay, it's already got that garlic taste, and I like a lot of garlic, but my husband doesn't. But he'll eat it though. Okay, this is adobo. You don't have to put adobo in there. This is Portuguese, Spanish. This is Latino crap. Okay, but I can't have anything without adobo. And I just put a little bit in. Okay, now here's where the rubber meets the road. This is Belle's seasoning, and it has sage in it. And it also has all the other little seasonings in it. And actually, I'm going to try to make one because we have to make some seasonings for Christmas presents. So I'm going to make one. I've made it before because I've been out of it, but my husband makes sure that I have it all the time. Okay. So we're going to put some Belle seasoning, and that's where that seasoning, if you like the sage. If you don't like it, then you just use, you can use some thyme and some other things to put in it. Rosemary, just different seasonings that you like, or you can use the basic seasoning, which I did until I put this in. Now I'm going to okay, now I'm going to turn this oven on. The stove on. The Belle seasoning, yes. You can find this Belle seasoning. You should be able to in any grocery store. If not, let me know and I will tell you what's in it so you can make it. So in the blend is rosemary, oregano, sage, ginger, marjoram, thyme, and pepper. Okay, so you can actually make it because I've done it. But like I said, some days are better than others for me. You know what I'm saying? So when I feel like making it, I make a bunch of things. When I don't, I'm like, I just grab what's there. Okay, so we got to get up. Now you can do one or two things in this pan right here. You can put butter or you can put oil. I cook with oil for no reason. Because I usually, I cook with butter too. So I cook with oil. Okay, so let me get all this off. Oh, that's heating up. I'll be right back. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. And then I'm going to wash my hands. And then we're going to put it in the pan and put it on low. Okay, so now we're going to put it in the pan. Anybody got any questions of anything? Hey, Miss Hall, how are you? What's up? So this is going in the pan. I gotta take these off. I'm gonna let you see this before the pan gets too hot. Okay, so while this is cooking, just let it simmer down just a little bit, just so, really the real reason why you do this, okay, but I've just done it for so long is because you have sausage in it, so you have to let the sausage cook. I usually cook the sausage first and then add all the rest of the ingredients in. But because there's no sausage in it, we're gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna wash this bowl out because that's not gonna happen. I'll wash that after, the reason being we're going to get this in the oven and then we're going to do the butter. I just have to get everything ready for it. I'm going to have to make it, yeah. Gotta get a cloth for it. Who's ringing my phone up like that? Really? I'm coming. I don't know. Somebody's ringing my phone up. Probably the car dealership telling me that I ran out of time and I have to renew again. So you want your onions and things to get translucent. We have to set the oven because we're going to do the chicken now. I'm going to get, this is already the pan. Okay, this is already oiled. Then I'm going to make sure that it's around the edges. Okay, I'm going to put the chicken in. Like I said, it's only him and I today, so. Okay, so now, doing the turkey is a little bit different than doing a chicken. And like I said, I'm just going to come on. I'm going to be doing cooking the chickens and stuff anyway, so I might as well come on with my friends. Okay, so now we've got the chicken. Turn it down just a little bit. And what we're going to do, it did die. Oh, tell your husband thank you. Okay, again, I'm going to turn the chicken over. This is the chicken in here. So it's all washed off and everything. And I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to season it. Now, this is skinless chicken. I don't like skinless stuff. He bought this. I don't know why, because he ain't on a diet, because he eats skinny. I mean, he's not fat. I'm the one that eats, well, I'm on a new eating kit. I'm actually going to eat because I can go without breakfast all day. And then at night, all of a sudden I want to eat something, and that's not good. So I'm trying to make myself eat at least 4 small meals a day. And I've lost a lot of weight. It's just that I think that I told you before, and I'll tell you again, I think that my weight has now shifted to my butt. I'm just saying. Okay, so we need salt and pepper too. No, I didn't salt and pepper it. I will in a minute, the other stuff. And while I'm up, let me twirl this a little bit. So this gets kind of brown, which is good. Let that cook down just a little bit more. Okay, so then I'll put some salt and pepper on it. Oh, he's upset. Just a little bit of salt, just a little bit of pepper. And then you got to turn it over. So once you turn that over, put a little bit more onion salt on it. Because even though you've seasoned the dressing, okay? Let me see who this is. Hello? Hello? Yes? Oh, okay. So I'll do that because I have I'm online right now, but I will talk to you later about it. Can I call you back at this number? Okay, I'll call you in about an hour, okay? All right, bye-bye. I'm sorry about that, but I got a new phone, and the guy just told me that I have to turn in my old phone, which doesn't bother me a bit because I didn't pay anything for the phone, so I don't care. Anyway, so a little bit of salt. At least it wasn't the other guy, other people telling me that my warranty is up on my car. I know it does. I know it does. It happens all the time. But the warranty is up on my car really tickles me because I don't have a car. We have one car. I sold my car earlier this year because I see no point in me driving a car because I can't. Okay, let me explain something to you after I put the salt on. I don't know whether I've told you all or anything like that. I can't go anyplace by myself because I have not just my husband, but this man, which is my device. Okay. If I fall or something like that, I have to push on the button and everything. So the apparatus also goes with me whenever I go, which means that my doctor says she doesn't suggest that I be alone. So what's the point? And my husband doesn't mind taking me anywhere. Most of the time, we noticed that most of the time when we were going, even before I got really, really sick, even though I got really, really sick before that. When I first had pneumonia, yeah, I know the roads are crazy. You know, um, when I got pneumonia, he started taking me before I got the Belle, and then when I had the stroke, my doctor just accepted, look, she doesn't need to be by herself. So either my granddaughter who drives, two of my granddaughters are driving now. One's 34 and one just turned 18, and she just graduated from high school. So I'm good. Really? Some people drive slow. I did my little fast things. I only got one ticket in all my life. But let's just say that's because I knew all the police at home in Boston, and I taught most of all the police at Delaware Tech here. So, they just look at my license and go, okay, we'll just go and let her go. But then I got older and I got wiser, or just, whatever that may be. Okay, so now this is going to go. And you can smell it. It smells so good. I'll be glad when we get smell-o-vision or smell of something so people can smell it on here. I have to do it very slowly. Okay. Now we're going to rub this in right here. I'll actually put the recipe on. I'll write it on too. Okay, we're going to rub this in. I'm going to put this over here. We're going to pop this down just a little bit and put it inside. And my oven's on 350. Now again, if you want to get the premix, I call it premix, dressing, you can get it and then add all your onions and everything in it. Because, like I said, some people like that. You can always enhance your food. You can always enhance it. Okay, so now we are going to do butter. So bear with me while I put all this stuff up because I only need salt for the butter. Okay, I've got everything made right there. I've got the cloth. We're going to do butter. Okay, it's going to take a minute. It's going to be noisy, but to be perfectly honest with you, when it's done, it's going to be very good. Okay, and the good thing about the butter is we use heavy cream and some salt, and that's it. Well, we also drop things too, but we use heavy cream and salt, and that's it. And the good thing about this is that this is, I think this was $4.99. You're going to get more than a pound of butter out of there, okay? As opposed to the butter being $4 and $5.99, okay? And hang with me a little while, because for you young people, and I mean this with all the sincerity, that want to know how to do things, I'm willing. If ask me, okay, do you know how to make? If I don't know it, I will look it up. But for the most part, my mom made everything because we didn't have stores like we have now, where you can just go in. I mean, cereal was, let me tell you, Cheerios, Wheaties, cornflakes, Kix, a few other ones. I think there was maybe 6 or 8 brands of cereal. Bran flakes, yeah, that's another one. Great nut flakes, which I could never really figure out why anybody would eat great nut flakes, but they were there. I mean, there was like maybe 6 or 8 cereals, maybe 10. Okay. The convenience stores that you go into now to get gas and stuff like that were bigger than our stores were at one time. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So mom had to make everything, even though we lived in the city, even though we had a grocery store, she still made everything. So, and my mother was one of them people that wouldn't let me sit there and look. Oh no, oh no. If she said, "What are you doing?" If I wasn't studying or reading or something like that, she said, "Come on, we're gonna go do something." She said, and she used to say all the time, like the old folks used to say, "Idle hands are the devil's workshop." That's what she used to say. So I get my blender and I'm going to come over to you and we are going to make butter. And it's going to make a lot of noise. I'm going to try to keep it. I think what I'll do is I'll pour everything and I'll let it blend over there because we won't have it so close to here that we can talk. But that blender is loud. Good blender, but loud. Okay, so so I have a Vitamix. I got this while I was still working. In fact, I bought several things while I was still working. And 2 of them I gave to my granddaughter because they were just so heavy that I just couldn't see myself. So I bought myself another smaller mixer. Okay, so I have the Vitamix. You can now go get all kinds of mixes. There's some good, Hamilton Beach makes a good one too. Okay, I'm sure that you already have a mixer. You can do it in any mixer that you want. Yeah, it is dangerous. It is dangerous. I mean, because it makes you think of so many things that you shouldn't be doing. Okay, so this is going to be one of them things where, be right back. But I know why they're doing it because people are going into the milk and things and So they're making it difficult for people to take the tops off. Ah, oh, my knee hurts. Let's see if I can get it on here, because my husband just went out the house. Oh, he went to go get. I got it, I think. Nope, I thought I did. Don't worry, I have other ones. I'll get the other one. Good exercise. Now, if you want to make plant-based butter, I have soy milk. I have soy cream. They make heavy cream with soy. This one don't want to go either. Okay. I know this. Let me try this. My husband doesn't. Has to be gone right about now, right? Well, that's just crazy. But it isn't crazy, I know, because they're trying not to. People have been complaining about, them taking the tops off and everything like that, and drinking out of. It's just crazy times here. You know what I mean? So, okay, you know what? When in doubt, I opened it up like a regular egg on milk carton. I really don't care because I'm going to use it all anyway, so I get a knife. And it used to be the way that we used to open it up anyway, so hey. It's coming. It's coming. Yes, they do. That's why when I go shopping, I check everything. I make sure that the tops are on things. I make sure that I look at it carefully and stuff like that, because it's just the way people are these days. And I think this pandemic has made the Mac even crazy. Got it open. Okay, that's all you do. You put your salt on later. I'll put this on the floor, and I'm going to put this on the blender. Then I'll come back and talk to you. This is going to take a minute because it's got to separate. And the milk that separates to the bottom, you can use that for buttermilk. That's what buttermilk is. And buttermilk makes the best fried chicken. So you can actually hear it. So imagine if it was over here. That's going to take about, I guess, about 5 or 6 minutes to separate. So I'm going to watch it. But anyway, yeah. So I look at everything. I'm watching it. I'll get up and check it in a minute. So does anybody want me to do anything specific for them? Because if you put it down, I'll write it down and then I'll start doing it. What we're going to do from now until I think the 15th of December is make Christmas presents. But I will be cooking, of course, every Sunday. And of course, Thanksgiving, to the Lord let me wake up, I'm going to be, hey, how are you, country gal? How you doing? How you doing? I'm going to do the biscuits by themselves. And then probably tomorrow. And then some other things. But I'm going to do Thanksgiving, Wednesday night. Um, we start cooking about 8 o'clock. I don't put my turkey in until 12 o'clock midnight. And then I keep it down on low and then I cook overnight. And now what's going to be funny is, I'm going to check that in a minute. What's going to be funny is that we only have a half a turkey because we cut it in half. So I may have to put that down real low because I'm so used to cooking 20, 25 pound, 26 pound turkeys like that. I'm fine, country gal. How are you? Just drinking my coffee and loving the day. Even though it's a little damp out, and it gets my arthritis, I'm here. That's okay. That's okay. Um, I'm just gonna say something. No, three. I came on at three. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna check the butter, the cream right now. The only thing about that Vitamix is that it is so loud. I guess all blenders are loud because I have a little one for, like smoothies and things behind me, and that one's loud too. So I'm on the hunt for a coffee maker, but a two-in-one, and I found one that's the coffee that actually makes the one cup with the carrot, and then it makes the pot has a pot that makes six or more coffees. So I'm going to try to get that. I'm waiting for Black Friday to get it though. So again, if you want to see anything, and I hope you can hear me. If you want to see anything, just let me know. I can't believe it is 49 days until Christmas. 49. I never never understood why they didn't make Christmas like 2 days. I mean, you have like going to different people's houses and stuff like that. You have all that, but I don't know. I just thought maybe, just maybe, that Christmas would be a little bit different. Let me see if this is going to separate. It used to be that they used to have it after Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's dropping down now. It used to be years ago, and up until I think about maybe 5, 6 years ago, Christmas decorations get put out until maybe Thanksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving or something like that. They started putting Christmas decorations out. I went to the dollar store. I went into different places, and everything is out there. Yeah, let me put my glasses on. Hi, Janitor. Taylor. Welcome. You know what? I don't know the question to that, Janet, because I've never made it in a crock pot. But I do know this: anything can be made in a crock pot. And so, what I would probably do with the half a ham is season it with, however, if you do pineapples and brown sugar and all that, put the half a ham in a crock pot, season it, put the pineapples and the brown sugar on, and just turn it on out low. It's everybody's going half. I gotta get up and look at this butter. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's going down now. But this took my sticking. This is what's on it, so it's almost ready. What happens is the liquid, the milk separates from the cream, and then that's how it turns into butter. Until you see it separated. I'll show you what to look for when it's done. So it depends upon the blender and what you set it on. If it was high, it would be a whole lot different. But if it was high, we can hear each other in here. I'll go over it again. So the cream in and of itself will separate. I'll show you when I bring it over. But what's good about the butter is I had stuff. Well, I was working so much I just didn't have the time to make it all the time. So I make it on holidays and stuff like that. What's good about this butter is if you want to season it with herbs or or if you want to season it with cinnamon or something like that to make toast, it's really, really good. You can play with it all kinds of ways. It is wonderful. Okay? I'll be right back. I'm going to check it again. Be right back. Be right back. if you can see this, you'll see that there's liquid on the bottom. So now we're going to bring in the big guns. Right? The big guns. A bowl and a strainer and a piece of cloth. Cotton, if you will. We've got a part in here, so let the liquid drain out. Now, the liquid that's in there, like I told you, that is buttermilk. So you can use that to cook with. Okay. Let's get this. So we can talk. It'll take about, 15 minutes for it to go in here. Put this here. Okay, so this is how you do it. Real simple. You can see the butter. Now I've got some in the freezer. I'll show it to you after I take all this out. What's really nice about this, I don't know about anybody else, but this brings me close to my grandmother. My grandmother had a, well, I didn't find out this. I mean, I'm sure she did when I was little, but my grandmother had a butter churner. My cousin asked for it, so I gave it to her. And my mother said, "Why did you give that to your cousin?" It's because she wanted it. Because I'm not going to use it. Because I then knew how to make it out of the blender when I first had blenders. So that was good. And sometimes I wish that I had got it, but so that's it. So this is what it looks like. Now this is going to go through the sieve. And we're going to let this strain. This is also like the way you make cheese. And if anybody wants to do that, I make mozzarella. So this will go through. You'll see it dripping through. Gonna take a minute. So now the one thing I didn't do that I forgot to do is to actually soak this in cold water because it'll last long. But butter in this house don't last long. I'm gonna get the one out the freezer that I already made. So this is the one that I already made. And I keep it in the freezer because the one thing is it does spoil. But if you have a good freezer, then you can put it in the freezer and just, put 2 or 3 of them in the freezer and just cut them as you go. Because like I said, if you're cooking all the time and you're using things like toast or something like that, then take some out and just use it then. Just keep it refrigerated because it does go bad in a couple of weeks. The butter that we buy from the store, it lasts a little bit longer because they put preservatives in it. The only way that you can preserve that is to put it in cold water. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't like doing that. I'll do it, but I don't like doing it. So this is going to drop through, but I'm going to show you this because this is going to take a while for all of that liquid to drop through. But remember now, okay, this is the cream. You want heavy whipping cream. Or actually heavy cream. I don't know what the difference is with the heavy whipping cream and the heavy cream. You can get heavy whipping cream or heavy cream. Just make sure that you can whip it. Ultra pasteurized, okay? That's what that says. I don't know if all that's true or not, but you can get that. That makes 1.5 pounds of butter for $4.99. So right now you can get the cream on sale. Can you freeze it? I don't know, but I'll look it up and I'll answer you tomorrow when I come on. Okay. Now here's the cloth. Now if you have cheesecloth, which I do, But like I said, they were all packed in my art room, so I use regular cotton cloth. You just bring it up every now and then, and you squeeze it. Just making sure that the liquid's out. I got some on my hand. And that's going to take about a half an hour to do. And we don't want to wait for it to squeeze out. But I'll show you when I come on tomorrow, I will show you the results of this one. So does anybody have any questions? Anybody want anything? Anybody that's has any suggestions about what they want me to make, just say it and I will do it, or I will look it up because I have old books and things. And I'm like one of those, I'm like a science project on math. So I like doing this anyway. Again, I have a question to ask everybody. Okay. I think I've told you this before. I'm thinking about going back to school. And I'm thinking about taking bakery. And I'm actually thinking about having a cooking school. Okay. For those people that have rocked with me since the beginning, I will not charge a thing. But for other people, I will. I'll have like, little meetings and stuff like that for you all and stuff like that because I'm not monetized. So I can't like do anything. I'm almost monetized. We'll worry about that later. But I'm thinking about having a cooking school. And I'm thinking about doing baking because it seems like everybody has gotten away from that. And a lot of people are afraid of it, as am I. Okay, because like I said, my mother was such a good baker. And I can remember her making things like, you know, um, pot of quiz and puff pastries and things like that she made eclairs, and the whole thing for the eclairs and things like that. And I really want to learn how to do that. Um, I've got plenty of time. I'm retired, so I can do it. And the military will pay for me to go to school. So, and then I if I go to the school that I went to, which they have a good chef's program there, but they have also certification programs, which are like take about maybe 1 year or something like that to do. And I'd like to get certified. Oh, you add salt when you're finished. As you're squeezing it together, once all of the liquid is out, then you add the salt. I'm sorry, Jeanette. Okay. So when the liquid is all out, because I'm going to squeeze it a little bit and stuff like that. In fact, let me do this now while you're watching. Because it just makes the liquid come out a little faster, that's all. And you squeeze it, and just kind of push it down. And it has to be lumpy. Okay, that's the other thing too. You've got to look at it and make sure that it's lumpy, because then you know that it's ready. That's the other thing too, I forgot to tell you. And then once it's all the liquid's almost all out, then you add the salt. So you kind of want it to look like this, if you can see this. Where it's lumpy, because that's the thing that makes the butter. And the rest of the thing that makes the liquid that makes the buttermilk. And like I said, you can place the buttermilk in the refrigerator. That you can freeze. Okay. Now I gotta remember, because I don't remember whether you can freeze this. I have to look up this and see whether you can freeze the cream or not. I think you can. I just, like I said, things like that don't last around here very long. So with that said, I'm going to go. I'll be back on tomorrow gotta go to the doctor's tomorrow. So, and get x-rays and things like that. I was going to go get my shingle shot, and then I think I'll wait until Friday. So, because it's time. So you add the salt once all the liquid's out. All right. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to go. I love you all for rocking with me and hanging with me. Hope you enjoyed it. See you tomorrow. God willing, the creek don't rise. Love you all. Take care. God bless. Bye bye. See you in the next video and stay safe.